Buenos dias to this Friday episode here on Cryptocito. We're going to be looking into some of the highlights of the week, obviously into price action of the week. There's actually a lot. We flip here to the weekly. You can already see there's some decent, juicy double-digit greens here for some of these coins. Some of them are even at new all-time highs now, right? For example, Neutron, which we're also going to be looking into. And yeah, we also have some great news to break here, actually, with our new content partners over at Inter Protocol, which is a decentralized stable token on the Agoric network. So we have some great announcements to make over there as well. But starting with Atom, $10.26 here, as we're closing the business week at least. We also, see a lot of price action usually over the weekends. But yeah, Atom, $10.26, nothing much happened. There's this meme, it's a stable token, right? Around $10, doesn't really do much, hasn't really moved at all. It's just in that range. Inflation still at 10%. Bonded ratio 65.3. Again, if it crosses 67, the inflation will gradually go down towards 7%, which I think would also signal that there is still relative strength and conviction into Atom if we cross the 67% bonded ratio, right? I think it's a very important psychological milestone that needs to be achieved. So yeah, we're going to look into that over the next coming weeks. And also, I just saw major milestone achievement. Yet again, I feel like I'm saying this a lot, but it's just so many things that are coming together. 2 million atoms delegated to Stakecito. Thank you, each and every one of you that's delegating to our node Stakecito here. This is where we all started, right? This is where everything began on the Cosmos Hub Atom when we applied for a delegation from the Foundation Delegation Program back in the days from Tenement. And it's just been great, this whole journey, growing the team, surviving the bear market, doubling down in the bear market, hiring more people, working with Ghazni, with Liam, now Winnie. We have a huge team now. We're 8 people. We want to keep growing, keep hiring, keep expanding. And without you guys, that would not be possible. So thank you to each and every one of you, actually to all 48,129 of you on the Cosmos Hub alone. We're actually well over 230,000 unique delegators here for all our chains cumulative. So yeah, this is really cool to see. And obviously also, I think the news of the week came out of the Cosmos Hub, right? February 12th, so earlier this week, we had this huge announcement where Babylon announced a collaboration with Informal Systems, the core engineering team behind shared security on the Cosmos Hub, to basically leverage their Bitcoin security protocol into the Cosmos Hub so that BTC holders could stake their BTC to a Cosmos Hub validator and secure the Cosmos Hub chain, which would then make the Cosmos Hub a more appealing place for protocols to explore migrating to, because then the Cosmos Hub becomes secured by multiple assets and not just Atom, right? There's a lot of questions around economics. There's a lot of questions around how that actually is gonna work out. But I think given that the Atom economic zone is already there with Stride and Neutron, 2 baller chains, potentially more that are lined up to join and migrate, means that there's something of value that actually needs to be secured, right? And that's my take on this partnership. It's actually very essential, and Babylon is one of the most highly anticipated projects to launch. And you can also see here by the reach this made, this announcement, 300,000 impressions, right? So yeah, there's also Twitter Spaces. You can look into that and listen to that on the Cosmos Hub here on Twitter and learn all about this partnership. I also did a episode last night with Jack Sempolin, Splitting Atom. We actually just celebrated also our 3-year anniversary after we first talked live here on this channel 3 years ago. Before IBC went live, we talked about the Osmosis airdrop, which was just an idea, a random idea back then, and all these things over 3 years ago, which is crazy to think of. And yeah, yesterday we talked also about Atom, the Cosmos Hub. Jack has some concerns, and also I think some valid concerns and questions. And he's, I think, also just much deeper now into a lot of different things. Also with Strangelove, they're actually going to announce a project very soon in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So next time he's on, we'll talk about that. But yeah, we talk a lot about the Cosmos Hub Atom, also about lessons learned from the bear market, lessons learned about Cosmos from the bear market, and it's just been a very nice conversation, as always, that I have with Jack. If we look at some other price movements, going back here on MinScan, we can see, flipping to weekly again, that the biggest winner has actually been Neutron. 61%, new all-time high, $1.81. Neutron is a permissionless cosmos-enabled chain that is secured by Atom and now has a $1.8 billion fully diluted valuation. They have Astroport, which is kind of the flagship AMM on top of Neutron, and a lot more things, right? They also acquired Confio, which is actually the inventor of CosmWasm. CosmWasm is the smart contract framework that's native to the Cosmos ecosystem. So yeah, Neutron, a lot of exciting things here. Strong backing, strong team, right? Close ties to the Lido team, because P2P Validator is also the kind of originating entity or organization or team that also then built Neutron. So yeah, very exciting to see that. I know Avril has been working insanely hard throughout the bear market, and yeah, just very happy for that and for him and the rest of the team. Sentinel also 50% up. We talked about it yesterday. Sentinel, decentralized VPN provider. And given that there's a lot of these airdrops that implement geo-blocking for obvious reasons for US people, Sentinel, I think, is gaining a lot of attention because they actually have a product that fixes that, right? A clear product market fit, clear utility and problem that they're solving. And yeah, DVPN has been really slammed in the bear market. It didn't look good, but now they just came back, right? They rose from the ashes. And I think they pulled a 15, 20, 30x in the past couple of months. So great to see. Actually, also, Sentinel is one of the chains that we spun up a node, and we've been gradually climbing up the rankings here. So if you have some DVPN, also feel free to delegate to us. Much, much appreciated. And yeah, Sentinel definitely also an exciting project that is coming out of this bear market. And so is Akash, actually also. Akash, $3.50. We've been talking about this a long time. Actually, we also talked about Akash with Jack in this interview I did 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. So Akash has been a project we've been tracking and following here for many, many, many years. And $3.50, I think, still has a lot of room to grow. But it's been nice to see the pump over the past couple of months. So congratulations if you hold Akash. In my view, one of the best plays for Cosmos blue chip to hold throughout this bull run. Let's see what else is pumping. Sane Network scratching at the $1 mark, which would imply a $10 billion fully diluted valuation. Amazing to see Sane Network. Their parallel EVM execution is coming very, very, very soon. I guess in the next 2 or 3 weeks, latest, my guess. And that would make, say, the fastest chain out there also for EVM. Right now they have CosmWasm implemented, but they will have parallel EVM execution. And that's a huge narrative, very strong team, a lot of ex-Robinhood people. We had Jay, I think, on the channel here a long time ago, 1.5 years ago or something like that. I'm also a private investor into Say in the private round, so that's also played out really nice so far. Yeah, Say it's really climbing up, right? And they're ranked 44th, $2.5 billion based on the circulating market cap. So yeah, they are on top of page 1, which is really cool to see. Yet another Cosmos chain. Then we have Kudos. I have not done a deep dive on them. Maybe that's something I need to urgently do. Fetch AI, obviously an AI playing Cosmos, evmos, axelar, also up in the double digits on the week. I did actually have a call, Quasar also 15 cents. Quasar didn't really dump in the past couple weeks where we had some corrections here, but Quasar held up very strongly. We also talked about this briefly yesterday with Jack. So above 15 cents, really cool to see. Yeah, Onomi, that's actually a project I had a call with yesterday. Very interesting stuff that they're building. I didn't really have that one on my radar, but Onomi, very cool. They're building a Forex platform that also is going to have its own marketplace and also its own stable token that is coming out very soon. And especially after the UST collapse and Terra, there has been this huge, huge void for native stable coins and stablecoin diversity within Cosmos, right? Now we have native USDT on Kava, we have native USDC on Noble, we have IST on Agoric, and we will have a stable token here on Onomi. and we'll probably have a lot more different stable token projects. But yeah, that's for kind of price updates. Let's look into some other news of the week. Lava Network, which is also a project we've been covering here for years now. We also have been investing into their earlier round, the previous round, before this one, with Stexito. So we're also early backers. We're also running a validator for Lava Network and their RPC infrastructure. Lava, I think, is a very interesting play when it comes to elevating Web3 infrastructure and decentralizing Web3 infrastructure. And they just announced another $15 million raise led by Hashkey Capital, Tribe, Jump, Quiet, North Island, Node, Finality, and many more, which is great to see. And in this thread here, they're also, explaining a little bit about the next steps here. They also have a points system that was just announced in that context as well. And that's definitely something we'll also be covering here more in depth next week on this channel or the week after. But yeah, this is cool to see. Lava Network, definitely one to put on your watch list. It is also kind of fits into this modular economy and modularity narrative out there, right? That kind of Celestia invented or pioneered. And Lava, definitely one to put on your watch list. Then we have also news from Bera Chain. In fact, not necessarily news, but a great explainer thread that we did from the Stexito account on Twitter, on X, because Bera has this interesting tree token model, right? I made videos about this also a long time ago, around a year ago, I think, where I compared Kava to evmos to Bera. And now we have a lot more information and details. But yeah, Bera Chain is pursuing this 3-token model with Bera, the staking token, BGT, the governance token, and Honey, the stable coin, yet another stable coin, which fits into what I just said. You know, we're going to have a new generation, a new wave of stable tokens, this DeFi run that's coming in Cosmos. So yeah, this is cool. Full explainer here. And the testnet is obviously live right now. There's also a lot of speculation around, being super active on testnet might get you a decent airdrop. And I think it's, the chances are high. Obviously, this is no guarantees. There's all speculation. So if you end up getting nothing, which you should actually expect, you should expect getting absolutely nothing, because then you only have upside, right? If you expect getting nothing, then all that can happen is that you get positively surprised if you get something, right? So that's always how I see it. Expect nothing, and you can hope for something, but I don't think you should expect anything, right? And also in regards to Lava Network, you can check out an interview that we did here recently with Stexito. Liam did that one with Yair, and I did one with Jill well over a year ago. I was still in my Lisbon apartment. But yeah, check those interviews out. I think this is more of a technical infrastructure play, but I think it's very important to understand. Now, as promised, the news that we want to break today are that there are now new vaults on Inter protocol, and that wall that just went live is ST-TIA, Stride Liquid Staked TIA. And just shortly before that, we also had the launch of ST Osmo, Liquid Staked Stride Osmo, and we'll probably see a lot more assets being added here. ST Atom is already here, and Atom, so those are like Stride Liquid Staked tokens, LSTs, and natively Atom here. There will be more also. They will integrate most likely P-Stake tokens, STK Atom, that is on the way. And I think also maybe STK DYDX makes sense. That just launched on the DYDX chain. But I also think it makes sense to kind of diversify different liquid staking providers, maybe even add Milk TIA here. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, to just diversify and also onboard new communities, right? And Inter is also actually a project that we just partnered up with here on Cryptosito. So you'll see more inter-protocol content here in the future. I see as an over-collateralized stable token that is very conservatively being rolled out. But I think now as the bull run is picking up, there needs to be more kind of awareness on that, and more also utility and kind of walkthroughs on how to actually utilize IST and why it makes sense, right? For example, Shade Protocol, we talked about this also a long time ago here with Carter on this channel. He's been a frequent guest. But there's interesting pools here, right? For example, Silk and IST pool. Silk is the native stable token on Shade Protocol that you can mint with your STK Atom, for example, or with your ST Atom, or a lot more tokens that you can use. And you can provide liquidity here, right? It's still relatively thin. The liquidity is $62,000. But the staking APR is, or not staking, the LP APR is 36.6%, right? And those are two stable tokens, right? So on paper, you don't have impermanent loss. You kind of still have the risk of impermanent loss because stable tokens can also go to zero. The pack can, depack, and there's obviously always risk in crypto. After all, this is all experimental. But on paper, there's no impermanent loss because they're both stable tokens packed to the US dollar. And Silk is actually also packed to a basket of assets, not only USD, but also gold and BTC. So Silk actually tends to kind of go up against USD, which is interesting. And yeah, you can play around with that here. So 36.6%, you have SHD rewards here purely. BLD showing up here, but it's not incentivized yet. Maybe that's something that's coming. But yeah, you can check that out. There's also pools here on osmosis, but note that liquidity here is still very thin. Yeah, so is also the slippage, right? If you want to make a trade here, for example, and get IST, it kind of makes more sense to just mint IST directly on inter.trade, and then you do that here, and then yeah, deposit your tokens as liquidity here in some of these pools, right? Or in Shade directly, right? Which I think the APR currently is the highest. There's also Mars protocol, and there's also Nolos. I actually want to make a lot more like hands-on guides and walkthroughs for these DeFi applications, because those are the new DeFi kits in Cosmos. And also, of course, Quasar that already has a roughly $10 million TVL here. So yeah, this is the new generation of Cosmos DeFi, and I think it makes sense to at least understand how they work, what they're doing, and what DeFi yield opportunities you have in the Cosmos DeFi economy. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what was a highlight for you this week, and I'll see you guys latest on Sunday. So stay safe until then and be good.